I think it's beneath me. The truth was put out there. You hear my side and that person's side. And here we are having to address it yet again.
It's over. After months of whispers, headlines, and courtroom drama, Jackie Christie and her daughter Chantel have finally been sentenced. The cameras didn't roll this time. There were no producers, no bright lights, and no confessional moments to explain their side. Just the cold silence of a courtroom and two women standing before a judge, waiting to hear their fate.
I was doing nothing but telling the truth. I heard her say it, and I repeated it. I'm grown, and I do what I want. You know who I am. I'm Jackie Christie. That ain't gonna change.
For years, they had lived like reality TV royalty. Designer clothes, expensive events, and a picture-perfect family that looked untouchable. But today, the image shattered for good. The same bold personality that once dominated television was now facing consequences far beyond the screen. Jackie tried to keep her signature composure, chin high, hands clasped tightly in front of her, but even she couldn't hide the tremble when the words "guilty" echoed through the courtroom.
You're not on my level.
I'm a crack addict because I'm small and you try to get lipo 80 times to look like me. Okay, big ears.
You're right, but you better keep your ass in that seat, tramp. That's what you better do. You're right, Dumbo ears. Yeah, I got a lot of husbands about these ears, bitch. Get a husband. That 48-year-old been working, bitch. You
Let
right.
me retire.
People who once cheered her on in living rooms across America sat in shock. The woman known for running the show was now watching her life collapse from the front row. And her daughter, the one she called her mini-me, was right beside her, facing time behind bars for crimes they committed together. But how did things spiral this far? How did a mother-daughter empire built on fame and luxury crumble into handcuffs and shame? Let's go back. Jackie Christie wasn't just another cast member on Basketball Wives. She was the name that kept the show alive. Loud, fearless, and always ready for confrontation, Jackie didn't just appear on reality TV, she owned it. From her fiery outbursts to her tearful monologues, she knew how to command attention. That was her power.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. It makes me sick.
She said a lot of things that actually hurt my feelings as a mom.
Off camera, she built her image around family and success. She showed off her long marriage to Doug Christie, her forever love. She bragged about her businesses, her fashion lines, and her commitment to helping other women find their voice. Fans either loved her or couldn't stand her, but nobody could ignore her. And right beside her through it all was her daughter, Chantel. Stylish, young, and ambitious, Chantel was supposed to carry her mother's legacy forward.
All the slander going on with these ladies, I just wanted to take a step back and enjoy my time, focusing on what means the world to me, and that's my family.
She often appeared on social media, flaunting luxury cars, expensive bags, and dream vacations. To the outside world, she was living the kind of life people envy, the life that comes with fame, family money, and opportunity. But what nobody realized was that behind all that glitz was a financial mess that had been quietly building for years. Jackie had always loved the spotlight, but somewhere along the way, the line between fame and fraud started to blur. It began with whispers, small things that fans brushed off as gossip. People noticed that Jackie's business ventures never seemed to last. She'd announce a new company, a fashion line, or a charity project, but months later, it would vanish without explanation. Chantel's brand deals looked suspicious too. There were luxury launches with no traceable income, collaborations that no one could confirm actually existed. Still, the Christies kept up appearances. They hosted lavish events, filmed content in mansions, and posted pictures from yachts. It was all part of the illusion, until someone finally called them out. An anonymous tip changed everything. Authorities received documents showing irregular financial activity linked to multiple businesses under both Jackie and Chantel's names. Fake companies, falsified records, and fraudulent loan applications. The deeper investigators looked, the uglier it got. By the time the federal agents stepped in, the paper trail was impossible to ignore. There were bank transfers between shell companies, fake nonprofit organizations listed under Jackie's management, and loan requests using stolen identities. They weren't just bending the rules, they were breaking them in full daylight. When the news broke, fans couldn't believe it. The internet exploded with shock and disappointment. "Not Jackie," one user posted. "She's messy, sure, but a criminal? Never." But as more details came out, that disbelief turned to anger. People who once admired Jackie's confidence started to see her differently. They realized that the same boldness she flaunted on TV might have been the same arrogance that led her here. As the investigation unfolded, prosecutors painted a chilling picture. They accused Jackie and Chantel of running a sophisticated fraud operation that funneled money through fake charities and business fronts. What made it worse was how long it had been happening. Years of deceit, buried beneath fame. When the case went to trial, things turned from scandalous to heartbreaking. Jackie showed up to court every day in tailored suits, still holding her head high. But behind her calm face was the look of a woman who knew the walls were closing in. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, fans, and former taskmates filled the benches, all waiting to see what would happen. The prosecutors didn't waste any time. They played recordings, displayed documents, and presented witnesses, people who said Jackie had used them, manipulated them, or promised them payouts that never came. The most shocking moment came when the court played an audio clip, a conversation between Jackie and her daughter, secretly recorded by investigators. In the clip, Jackie could be heard instructing Chantel on how to move the money around and keep the numbers small enough to avoid attention. The room went silent. The judge leaned forward. Even Jackie's lawyers looked defeated. It was the kind of evidence you couldn't explain away. Chantel broke down in tears. She told the court she never wanted any of this, that she only followed her mother's lead. She said, "I just wanted to make her proud." Her voice cracked, and the whole courtroom went still. It was the first time the public saw her, not as a reality star's daughter, but as a scared young woman who got pulled too deep into her mother's world. Jackie didn't cry. Not then. Not even when her daughter begged the judge for mercy. She stayed composed until the verdict came. Guilty on all counts. The words hung in the air like thunder. Jackie's shoulders dropped. Her lips quivered. For a moment, the fierce, unbothered Jackie Christie was gone. What stood in her place was just a mother, a broken one. The sentencing came weeks later, but by then, the damage was done. Jackie was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. Chantel received 12 after cooperating and expressing remorse. Doug Christie, though not charged, was left shattered. According to insiders, he filed for legal separation just days after the sentencing. He'd stood by her through years of chaos, but this time it was too much. Outside the courthouse, cameras flashed one last time. Jackie walked out in silence, handcuffed beside her daughter. No smiles, no statement, just the sound of footsteps on concrete, the sound of a family legacy ending in disgrace. Social media lit up instantly. Some fans expressed heartbreak, saying they couldn't believe how far things had gone. Others were furious, calling her a hypocrite. All those years talking about loyalty and morals, one comment read, and she was scamming people the whole time. Victims began coming forward too. Small business owners, single mothers, and community leaders who trusted Jackie's name shared their pain. One woman said she invested $40,000 into one of Jackie's charity programs, only to discover it never existed. Another man said he was promised a sponsorship deal that never happened. They all said the same thing. They trusted her because she was famous, because she seemed genuine, because her family looked successful. And now they were left with nothing. VH1 wasted no time distancing itself. Episodes featuring Jackie were quietly pulled. Reruns were stopped. Brand deals vanished. For a woman who once thrived on being seen, the silence that followed was the harshest punishment of all. And for Chantel, the damage was even deeper. She lost everything: her freedom, her credibility, and her future. Sources close to the family said she spends her days in tears, wishing she'd never listened, wishing she'd walked her own path instead of following in her mother's shadow. But the truth is, it wasn't just greed that brought them here. It was pride, the need to keep up appearances, the pressure to prove that fame meant success. Somewhere along the way, Jackie started believing her own act, and Chantel believed her mother. Now, both are living the consequences of choices they made together. There's something almost haunting about it. Two women who once posed in matching outfits, smiling for magazine covers, now wearing matching beige prison jumpsuits. A mother and daughter who shared everything from fame to downfall. In court, before being taken away, Jackie finally spoke. Her voice was softer than anyone had ever heard it. She said, "I wanted to give my daughter the world, but I ended up taking it from her." That line broke everyone in the room. Even the judge paused. It was the first time Jackie admitted what everyone already knew, that her ambition had destroyed everything she loved. And as she was led away, the woman who once called herself the queen of reality TV became just another inmate with a number instead of a name. For Doug Christie, life has gone quiet. He's reportedly focusing on rebuilding privately, away from cameras. Friends say he's devastated, torn between love and betrayal. After years of standing by Jackie through scandals, affairs, and controversies, this was the one storm he couldn't weather. People close to the family say he still visits their daughter when he can, but hasn't seen Jackie since the sentencing. It's like their entire marriage dissolved overnight. The Christies went from being a symbol of unity and endurance to a cautionary tale about how fame can twist everything. In the end, this wasn't just about fraud or money. It was about a mother's desire to stay relevant no matter the cost, and a daughter's loyalty that cost her everything. The empire Jackie built was based on control, image, and illusion, but no illusion lasts forever. When the cameras stopped rolling, the truth finally showed up, and it was uglier than any reality TV feud could ever be. And maybe that's the real tragedy. Jackie Christie didn't just lose her freedom, she lost herself. The woman who once lived for attention now sits in silence, far from the spotlight, thinking about the world she created and destroyed with her own hands. From red carpets to cold prison floors, from fierce arguments to quiet regret, this is the story of how power and pride can burn even the brightest stars. So now, as fans look back on her old TV moments, they don't see entertainment anymore. They see warning signs. They see a woman desperate to hold on to something that was already slipping away. Jackie's story reminds us of something painful but true. When the spotlight fades, what's left behind tells the real story. And for Jackie and Chantel Christie, that story has ended in a way nobody could have imagined. Not with applause, not with fame, but with silence, remorse, and time. Because in the end, no matter how glamorous life looks on the outside, the truth always finds its way out. And when it does, the fall is louder than the fame ever was. So tell me, did you see this coming? Do you think justice was truly served, or did the system go too far? Let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because this story isn't just another scandal, it's a wake-up call about what happens when fame becomes more important than family.